Are you a dietitian? Yeah. Can you look at a person and be like, yeah, too much milk? Oh, shit. Oh, damn.
I'm gonna get a little sentimental for a second. I've known this man for over 10 years. He's like a brother to me, you guys. We did a show 7 years ago. We were doing colleges. He brought these blood oranges from the Whole Foods, you guys. And then during the gig, during the set, somebody took those goddamn blood oranges. Yeah, a crime was committed, Tina. You know what? It doesn't matter what happened at the University of Milwaukee, because he's here tonight and he's headlining the fucking Improv, you guys. And tonight he gets back those blood oranges.
Blood oranges! And look, matching beanie in the front. This is blood orange life, baby. Everybody else here living in LA? Fuck yeah. Yeah, real happy about that, huh? But LA has a dark vibe. That's why I get it. We are jaded in the sense that we're in the entertainment capital of the world, right? We have the best actors in the world. We have, second best comedians in the world. A lot of dreams come here and they get shot down. Like 99% of dreams get shot down. It's true. That's pretty accurate, right? Are you doing something dream-wise or? Yeah, trying to. Because you got really sad when I said it. No, don't get it. I believe in your dream. I believe in your dream. What's your dream? What are you trying to do? Acting. Okay, fuck yeah. That's great. You're acting as an audience member right now. You're doing fucking great. She's been laughing. Seriously, I thought she was a real audience member. She's extra number 75. Killing the game. How we feel about Elon Musk? Fuck yeah, two perspectives in the same house. I love it. Okay, people who viewed him, why? Just give me one reason.
Trust fund baby.
He's a trust fund baby?
He's rude and gross.
He's rude and gross. Okay. He's very intelligent. Okay, this is pro, right? This is not like anti. Oh no, you're fine. I was just confirming. Because I was like, why do we hate him? And you're like, because he's very intelligent. We can't have people out there being all smart. We had very pro over here. Why pro, Elon?
Because he's a workaholic. He's inspiring to me. He does a lot of great things.
That's great. So he's a very smart workaholic who's gross and mean. Sounds like every fucking guy in tech. All right? So, welcome to Silicon Valley. So Kanye said some shit. Anybody here not think it was anti-Semitic? Okay, good. I'll say definitively what Kanye said was anti-Semitic, and you can trust me, because I'm Palestinian. Okay? If I say something's anti-Semitic, it's anti-Semitic, dude. Palestinians have heard some shit, okay? Be honest with me, okay? Who was still on board with Kanye when he was just complaining about Kim's divorce lawyers?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, a couple people. We didn't want to fucking clap for that, it's fine. You do have to let me know. Couple people, right? Who was still on board with Kanye when he was making more subtle implications about bankers and stuff, but not really saying outwardly anti-Semitic stuff?
Yeah.
Couple people, right? Okay. Who is on board with Kanye when he was defending Hitler? Okay, good. So we all have a line. To be honest, I knew Kanye was anti-Semitic as soon as he changed his name to Ye. Yeah, because he took the Khan out. That's a Jewish name. I'm holding the joke for long because it's really good. I'm excited for the 2024 election. I am into politics. I love politics, but I don't identify with either side. I just want to make money off of both of them. That's all I want to do. That's my goal. But I'm making shirts for 2024, okay? For both sides, okay? One shirt says Trump 1924, because that's the year he wants to take us back to, And the other one says Joe Biden 2024, but if you look closely, it actually says Joe Biden 1942 to 2024, so. Okay. I'm happy that Trump's back on Twitter. I know it's not a popular take in LA, but you should at least be happy for me as a comedian. I'm getting jokes direct to source. Trump, for any politician in history, for any president in history, best jokes. I don't even have to add sauce. And I know people think, oh, Trump jokes are so tired. They're so hack. Dude, he's writing fresh shit now. He's writing new stuff. It's higher brow. A couple weeks ago, Trump was complaining about the midterms. He put out on social media, the electron was stolen. God, that's a perfect joke. The electron was stolen. I've been doing comedy 15 years. I love puns. Haven't even thought of that one. Election, electron. It's just one letter away. Change an I to an R. You got a fucking joke, dude. That's a great. He said that. The electron was stolen. Yeah. Said the hydrogen ion. Am I right? That's a perfect joke. And it's real, too. Hydrogen ions out here losing electrons every day. And they're not happy about that. They're unstable, these hydrogen ions. But to be honest, you can't have too many hydrogens losing electrons, because that actually forms a nuke. But, so it kind of was a threat. Any famous person or something you want me to talk about?
SBF.
Who?
SBF.
Who is that? I'm sorry. You just gave me two different acronyms. He said SPF like it's sunscreen. And he said SBS.
FTX, the company.
FTX?
Yeah.
That's what you said?
I said SBF.
Yeah, so you guys are all just saying different fucking acronyms. This is why we're so fragmented as a people. So what was yours, the first one?
SBF.
SBF, which is who?
The CEO of FTX.
The fuck? I don't like that those two connected, but I do like that apparently we're more connected than we know. Yeah. That's awesome. You guys are a team. I didn't even fucking know it. I'm the one who's late to work. Okay. You know, I consider myself a decently smart guy. I don't claim to be smart, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay? Make some noise if you know what he's talking about. Okay. Be honest. Make some noise if you have no idea what he's talking about. Okay. About 40%. Okay? You're gonna have to tell me who's this person and what's the company.
It's a crypto exchange.
It's a crypto. Oh, this is crypto. That's all you gotta say. Crypto shit, bro. Bro, you doing crypto? You doing crypto? That's all you gotta do. Crypto, crypto. You doing crypto? That's all you had to say, bro. I am so glad that I've stayed the fuck out of crypto, because FTX is a company and they went to shit. Is that what you said? Or what?
Yeah.
What happened to them? They just went out of business?
They're run by a bunch of incompetent people, and they lost a bunch of money that they didn't have.
Sounds like business, baby. Run by a bunch of incompetent people and lost a bunch of money they didn't have. It's also, you just described my career. To be honest, I'm a little FTX over here. A little SBF in the streets, FTX in the sheets, you know what I mean? The balance sheets. Because apparently everyone's here into fucking accounting, so... Like, we found like a relatable... Everybody here is like super like fintech and shit. My role in this universe is not comedy. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I already know that I'm not supposed to be doing. This is a stepping stone to something else. It's my gateway drug. I know that my role in the universe is I'm a problem solver. I can solve problems. Big problems, personal problems, little problems, medium-sized problems. And I'm trying to test it out every chance I get. Anybody here have a problem? Anything. Maybe career, personal. I know, it's a lot of pressure. I understand. Okay, fantastic. Yes?
Building a multi-billion-dollar company.
Are you doing that?
Well, I might as well try.
Fuck yeah. That's amazing. But she's like, I'm building a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing at my show? Like, what is this? This is a multi-hundred enterprise at best. I love it. And this is now, we've suddenly turned this into a seminar. This is a bigger problem. Now, you would like to do that?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you were the one who said that Elon Musk is highly intelligent, correct? Okay, fantastic. That would have been like funny if she was like, scum, and it's just like, I want to be like him. Okay, so building a multi-billion-dollar company, how do we do that is the question.
Exactly.
Okay, now here's kind of a bigger question that I want to ask before we do that, is can all of us build a multi-billion-dollar company? No, we can't, because what would happen? We'd all be billionaires. Money would become inflated, basically, right? We'd just be leveling the playing field, and $1 billion would then be, the new, 4 or 5 figures, right? Yeah, $20. So we can't all do this. But this is a small show. There's the right amount of people in here. Where we could all be billionaires. Okay? And you didn't know tonight, when you thought you were buying tickets to just see a comedy show, you were actually attending a Tony Robbins-style seminar on how to build a multi-billion-dollar company. I want to keep this about you. What industry are you in?
Nutrition.
Nutrition. It's a lot of food we're gonna have to get. We're gonna have to get a lot of food. Are you a dietitian? So you help people plan their diet? You do personal one-on-one stuff?
One-on-one, yes.
Can you look at a person and be like, yeah, too much milk?
Like pepper.
Oh shit! Oh damn! Well, I haven't drank milk in like 3 weeks, so I don't know. You were joking, right? Okay, of course. No, I mean, I'll fuck with some milk though. I'll fuck with some milk, but just I haven't had it in like 3 weeks. Like, how did she see it in my bones? Good, but you probably help people who have like food intolerances, like figure out what their intolerances are and stuff. A lot of that in LA too, right? Yeah. Gluten. Do you recommend no gluten for everybody?
No.
Okay, so like some people can handle it, some people can't.
Exactly.
You're very much like, hey, if your body can handle that shit, you do it.
Right.
That's great. That's custom. Like what?
Like drugs.
Like drugs. Fucking. Who are you with here? This is amazing. We have a dietitian and a drug fanatic. Great duo. You guys got a great. This is a multi-billion-dollar business right here. Right? We got one. It's like, all right, you got to cut tomatoes out of your diet. It's like just a little bit of cocaine, just a little bit. You're gonna feel real good. Now, obviously, to become a billionaire, you have to work hard. You have to play your finances smart, like save money, get the right investment. A lot of it could be luck, but you most likely have to work hard, right? So, are you willing to help guide people's nutrition like 12-hour days?
No.
Okay. So how many hours a day currently do you work with people?
Like 8.
8. Normal amount?
Normal. Yeah.
Okay, but you're not willing to do 12? You're willing to do 10?
I'm willing to do 12 temporarily.
You're willing to do 12 temporarily until you got that $1 billion? What if I told you it was going to take you 20 years? Would you do it?
10.
If I told you right now, if you put in 12-hour days for 10 years, so that's 4 extra hours a day. Somebody do the math. 4 extra hours a day, which a year is going to be something like what, like 800, not a year.
Oh, 1,200 a day, a year.
We'll figure it out. About 1,200 a year. 1,200 hours, 12 plus. I mean, it's like 1,300, something more, 14. What's that? What is it? 1,440. Lovely number. 1,440 hours a year for 10 years. More work. You're willing to do that to be a billionaire?
If he's okay with it, yeah.
If he's okay with it. Well, he's doing the drugs. He's cool. You know what I mean? He's fucking chilling. He smoked a little weed. You know what I mean? It'll be fine. So you're willing to work that many extra hours for 10 years. But if I told you 11, you'd say no?
If it's a billion, okay, no, not for billion.
Multi-billion dollars. Remember, we're talking multi. And just have one. To be multi-billion, just could have 1.1.
Okay.
That's the bare minimum for unless you guys think it's 2. Do you guys think it's 2? Does it got to be 2 to be multi-billion? Do we get a 2? Everybody says it's 2. So if you got $2+ billion, you'd work 4 extra hours a day, every fucking day for 10 years. What about 11 years of that? What
Yeah, I can do that.
about 12 years? What's that?
I guess so.
You guess so? What about 13 years?
You can go to 20, aren't
You'd go. I'm going to keep going until you say stop.
you? Okay, I'm cutting that 12.
You cut. All right, so you're not meant to be a billionaire. So you gotta want it. 1 billion hours is what you gotta do. He's like, babe, just do some shrooms with me. We'll be fine. You'll be a billionaire in your mind, you know? Thank you so much for coming out to the show. And I did, in fact, get my blood oranges. They were you. We're at the Hollywood Improv. I'm here just peeling an orange, and I did something wrong, and I cut myself, and I'm bleeding. Bleeding, eating an orange. The universe knows what it's fucking doing.
You ever had sex? No, absolutely not.
It was trending a few weeks ago on Twitter that people were afraid that Zoran was going to make kids learn Arabic numerals. That was a real trend. Like, it started as some guy trolling. He posted, he's like, I bet Zoran's going to make the kids learn Arabic numerals. And then one guy was like, the fuck he is! And it just spiraled out of control. Became a full-on war, man. Some of you don't even know why that's funny, huh? Arabic numerals are the numbers that we use on a daily basis. So if you can count 1, 2, 3, congrats, you speak Arabic. Yeah. If you can say 1, 2, 3, yalla, you speak Arabic very well. People think they're only Arabic when they're being counted down. Like 3, 2, 1. Like, no. They're Arabic forward as well. It's crazy that people thought that Arabic numerals weren't already in New York City, like they used to be there, but then after IXXI. Okay, I feel like only L% of you guys got that joke. Shout out to the Roman Empire. Never forget. You know, you hear Usha Vance was seen without a wedding ring? Yeah, ooh, yeah. And she was going to meet up with Melania, so you know the girls are talking. It's gonna be a hot girl winter. For those of you who don't know, Usha Vance is the wife of famous podcaster and couch connoisseur J.D. Vance, who also happens to be the vice president of the United States. And their marriage has been a little bit rocky ever since a hug that happened. And I don't know if you saw this hug, but it was a hug, okay? J.D. Vance hugged Erica Kirk, and it was a hug, okay? Like, he went low on her waist like this, and she grabbed the back of his head and like, grrr, just going like this. It's like, grrr, grrr, and I shouldn't have been turned on. That was my bad. It happened, we saw it, and everybody's thought was like, this is not gonna be good for the marriage, right? But then I looked it up. Apparently, JD and Usha's marriage was already pretty rocky. Like who would have thought marrying JD Vance is not sweet perfection, you know? Because for the longest time, JD Vance was trying to get Usha to convert to Christianity, okay? But she's Hindu, and she resisted. You gotta give her props. By the grace of Ganesh, she stayed Hindu, and he kept trying to get her to convert for his political campaign. And now she's converting to divorce, so, you know. Things don't always work out, but it's like, you know, respect your partner's faith. Like, I love interfaith marriages, but like Hindus, let this be a lesson. This is what happens when you marry the cow. Listen, I'm being nice about this, okay? There's people straight up pushing the conspiracy that J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk are being positioned to be the front runners of the 2028 election should Trump not run again for the 100th time. They're saying they're gonna be the chosen ones, you know? And I'm not saying that. That's kind of a wild conspiracy, but when you look at the timeline, kinda, you know what I mean? Because we saw that hug, that salacious hug, and J.D. Vance is a Christian, allegedly, but that hug was a sin, you know what I mean? Like, that hug was a sin, okay? And I know you're like, well, he can sin, he's the vice president. No, that's not how it works, okay? We saw that hug, and now we see her without a ring. This is the timeline of events they want us to see, because don't sleep on Usha Vance. She's a powerful woman. Usha Vance is technically one assassination away from being first lady, okay? Okay, that's just a fact, okay? Usha Vance is one assassination away from being the first lady, okay? And one assassination ago, she had a stable marriage. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, okay? It's an assassination power sandwich. I'm just connecting the dots. That's all I'm doing. I'm just connecting the dots. That's not a Hindu joke, by the way. Not a Hindu joke. I'm connecting the non-religious small circles. That's all I'm doing. But you never know. Never know, you know? A lot of people are afraid of losing their jobs nowadays, you know? Especially AI and stuff. I'll tell you what. If you're worried about losing your job, just remember, Kash Patel is still head of FBI, okay? You're gonna be all right. You don't need to be good at your job. You just need to be there. Eyes wide open. It's crazy that Kash Patel is anti-woke, because those eyes are woke as just like 3,000% dilation. Just, I don't even know what's going on in there. He's locked in on something. I don't know. Kash Patel, who looks like Aziz Ansari's jacked autistic cousin, is, I mean that in a nice way, guys. I don't know why you're groaning. By the way, I've been using the word autistic a few times and people have been getting upset at my recent shows. Like I'm on the spectrum, my friends are on the spectrum, we all say that word. I think it might be a generational thing. I don't mean to offend anybody, but I think autism is awesome, by the way. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think autistic people are the superior race, honestly. If I find out that I'm falling the spectrum, I'm coming for y'all. I don't give a okay? So, all right, anyways, side note. So Kash Patel has about a 0% approval rating, okay? There's a funny story about Kash Patel recently. Apparently, the day after Charlie Kirk was killed, Kash flew to Provo, Utah, and he refused to get off the FBI plane because he didn't have his FBI jacket. He didn't want to be seen without the jacket because he forgot his. Apparently, he left it in Valhalla. And so he tells his assistants, he's like, hey, can you go find me a jacket? And they're like, oh, here we go again. And they go out and they search Provo, Utah for an FBI jacket. And they come back and they're like, Kash, we couldn't find a jacket. He's like, why not? They're like, because nobody here is as small as you. You're a size medium. Everybody here is like a large or XL or a double X. Do you want a large? He's like, no. I guess he'd taken too many L's already. And he sent them off again. And then they go for hours and they still can't find it. They come back like, Kash, we need you outside right now. He's like, no, cash me inside. How about that? How about that? How about that? How about that? Go find me a medium-sized FBI jacket. They leave again. Finally, they find a medium FBI jacket on a female agent, okay? Which is only funny because they took a jacket off of a woman to give it to a dude, right? Chivalry is dead. I don't give a what you say. They're like, take off your coat. The man's cold, okay? So they come back with this medium-sized jacket. Kash puts it on, examines himself in the mirror. He's like, the patches aren't right. And so he has someone come in and sew on the FBI patches properly. And this process took literally hours. Our tax dollars paying for this plane. Finally, he steps off the plane hours later, just enough time for the killer to get away. It was like so ironic. He just wanted a medium. Now the killer's at large. Okay. All right. All right. Of course, he came out and said it was Tyler. Okay. You can believe that if you want, okay? I'm not going to. If you're pushing the Tyler narrative, you're either really dumb or you're lying, okay? All right? And I'm gonna assume it's the latter because he's Indian. I'm not saying Indians are liars. I'm just saying they're not dumb. I've never seen that before in my life. Okay, you can call that racist if you want, but if I post this on YouTube, nobody's gonna be like, yeah, we claim him. Nobody's gonna be saying that. I think Kash Patel's a liar. And I think he's lying right now, to be honest. I can actually sense it. I can sense it, yeah, because I'm also a medium. Thank you. Cash me outside. How about that? Just watched the Diddy documentary. Yeah. And I realized I'm not that bad of a person. Okay. Yeah. You want to feel good about yourself? Watch that Diddy documentary. You can be like, wow, I'm actually really good in relationships. I'm kind of a catch. I feel like my exes owe me an apology. Yeah, that Diddy documentary is wild, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but he kills Tupac, okay? All right, I'm gonna leave it at that, but he also killed Biggie. I'm sorry, guys. I need to tell someone just because I'm from the 90s. Can you imagine what it feels like to see that the same person killed both your childhood idols within the same half-hour episode, and it's somebody you don't even like the music of?
Like, had it been 50 Cent, you know, I'd be a little, you know, conflicted. But I'm hearing this from 50 Cent, so I'm 50-50. But apparently, Diddy hired someone to shoot Tupac, okay? And then months later, he brought Biggie to LA. And Biggie didn't want to go to LA because everybody's like, it's dangerous. They think you killed Tupac, so you probably shouldn't go to LA. And Biggie's like, I don't want to go. Puff's like, you're coming. Can you imagine like Notorious B.I.G. being like, I'm not really comfortable with this? And Diddy's still like, no, you're coming with me. Takes him to LA. Biggie's just supposed to be there for one day. He had to go do press in the UK, but Diddy's like, no, we're canceling that shit. Cancels his flight, forces Biggie to stay in LA, brings him to the party. Diddy's like, I'm gonna throw a party on enemy turf. Yeah, how about that? Does that, invites Biggie to the party, and then after the party, he's like, all right, Big, let's get in the car and head off. Gets him in the car at the exact time that they drive off, and that's when the shooter pulls up and just rays shots on him. Now, the crazy thing about both of these shootings, both Tupac and Biggie, the shooter shot like multiple shots, which shows that they wanted to get their money, okay? And what's so sinister about this is after these two murders, Diddy then just casually launches his solo album, which is like, oh, the two goats are gone. How about some Puff Daddy? Like who does that? Can you imagine somebody losing the person closest to them, and then within 2 weeks they're already in the spotlight, smiling, not grieving, meeting the president, launching their solo career in the studio, built off the fame of the person they were with. Can you think of anybody who would do that in September 2025? I'm not really sure. I'm talking about P. Diddy, guys, not E. Kirky. No, of course, with all this stuff, you're supposed to say allegedly. Allegedly. Everybody's like, I was saying allegedly with Diddy till I found out he was a Scorpio. So no more. He's guilty. He's guilty. I'm sorry. You're innocent until proven Scorpio. I don't care. I know that's offensive to 1/12 of this room. I don't care. Or probably more if you're married to one. That's on you. You got yourself into that situation. I'm just kidding. I love Scorpios. There's good Scorpios out there. Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden. We'll listen. We'll do examples later. We'll do examples later. How about that? How about that? Okay. I love Scorpios. You're good people. I'm not saying all Scorpios are guilty. I'm just saying if you have allegations, you are. That's literally all I'm saying. Okay. And I know maybe it's a bit of a stretch to compare Diddy to Erica Kirk until you realize she's also a Scorpio, okay? So just, I don't know, keep an eye open. That's all I'm saying. But the Diddy documentary, it's interesting because the Diddy documentary opens with footage of him in his hotel room a few weeks before he gets arrested. And you're like, what? Wait a second, this documentary was made by 50 Cent. Is 50 Cent in his hotel room and he doesn't know? Like, did he set up like hidden cams or something? And then you find out that Diddy hired the videographer himself because he thought the footage would make him look good to other people. It didn't work that way, right? That's what I said. It did not look good at all. And then within a few weeks, he goes to jail, okay? And then the videographer's like, ooh, what do I do with this footage? Well, I guess I'll give it to his worst enemy, 50 Cent. He literally gives it to his longtime arch nemesis, 50 Cent. And my first thought was like, you know, I'm not a Diddy fan, but like, he really like, you know, Diddy got betrayed by his videographer, you know? Like mine would never do that, you know? Sorry, look for the camera. Mine would never do that. Right? But then I read the reason why the videographer gave it to 50 Cent is because Diddy didn't pay the videographer. Bad move, man. Rookie mistake, dude. And as you find out in the documentary, Diddy had a history of not paying his contractors, dude. Who does he think he is? The President of the United States? Like, what are you doing, man? So yeah, let that be a lesson. If you do not pay your videographer, your private footage is gonna get released, okay? Yeah, so say what you will about Epstein, he definitely paid his videographer, you know? Okay, all right. I'm kidding, he installed his own camera. Sometimes you gotta DIY, you know what I mean? Release the files. When I grew up, you know, Puff Daddy, he seemed so innocent, you know? He looked like he had seen a gun but never touched one, you know? And then he just changed, when his name changed to Diddy, that's when the switch happened. And they said that he never did like drugs or anything like that when he didn't do drugs or alcohol, nothing when he was younger. And then all of a sudden he went straight to pills. Ecstasy was his favorite. That's kind of a big jump, you know, from my experience, you know, but it's just kind of crazy that he became Diddy when he did E. Okay. That's just a Sammy Obeid original. Now, Now he did a lot of bad things, allegedly, as you see in the movie. But like one thing he also did was anytime his friend had a girlfriend, he would always try to take the girl from his friend. And he got charged for all these things like RICO, drugs, etc. But like, how about bro code? They didn't charge him once for any violation of the bro code, you know? And obviously, the weirdest thing about this whole documentary was that they found 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil on Diddy's estate. Okay, we're talking metric tons of baby oil, and it had to be Johnson & Johnson. That's the crazy thing, like brand loyalty, this guy, like brand loyalty. Johnson & Johnson lost their biggest client with Diddy. Yeah, like he single-handedly funded the J&J vaccine, which is weird because that was only one shot. Not typically his style, but yeah, he loved the Johnson & Johnson, and so everybody saw that. Everybody's like, this is weird, and so his lawyer has to chime in while he's in jail and be like, hey guys, what's the big deal, okay? Diddy just like to buy in bulk like any American. What American do you know is buying 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil? Where can you get 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil? Not Costco, I looked it up. They don't sell Johnson & Johnson. If it was from Costco, it'd be called Kirkland & Kirkland, but it's not. It's J&J, not K&K, okay? He had to literally like order directly from Johnson & Johnson, like pallets of baby oil. And it's revealed in the documentary that Diddy liked to use this oil for the freak off. So he would have these freaky sessions with people all who come to these parties and they would do sexual stuff. And he always insisted that they put baby oil on them, which is just extra creepy because it's baby oil. Like, why do you want people to smell like babies? Like, what the is wrong with you? And then there's many accounts in the story where the person would be like, yeah, and then I put the baby oil on me, and Diddy was like, not enough. So they say he wanted people to have the glistening effect. That's what it was called, you know. But it's, you know, classic like Diddy lyric. It's like, we can shine together or whatever. But yeah. I mean, it's just really weird using. And respectfully, Johnson & Johnson is like the gayest baby oil. You know what I mean? Like, it's made specifically for two men and they're privates. Johnson & Johnson, just straight. What the doctor ordered. But everybody's, you know, seeing this and like, oh, well, what is the baby oil freak off stuff? And then so the lawyer had to chime in even more and be like, what's wrong, guys? It's just a bunch of adults doing consensual sex. Like, the fact that you said consensual is a red flag, you know what I mean? Like, we should already assume that, you know, but like, you know, I'm not a sex expert, trust me, okay? But last time I checked, you don't need that much lubrication for consensual sex, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of built into the process. If you know, you know, okay? And if you don't know, now you know. Baby. Oil. But yeah, I mean, the messed up thing about Diddy not paying his contractors is that he had money. Like, you can see it on his body. Like, he paid certain people. He chose who he paid. Like, for instance, Diddy has to pay Sting $2,000 a day for the rest of his life. Because he sampled Sting's song without asking for consent. Which is also just extra sinister just because it was the song that he dedicated to Biggie's death. And yeah, so basically he kills Biggie, and then he makes a song in his honor, releases it on his solo album, does a little dance on MTV. While he didn't even make the beat himself, he stole it from Sting. And so now he has to pay Sting $2,000 a day for the rest of Sting's life. So Sting could just quit everything he's doing and make a surgeon's salary off of Diddy every single year till he dies. So, you know, Sting's kind of happy that Diddy's in jail, you know? He's just like, every breath you take, every bond you break, every move you make, you'll be paying me. It's a crazy documentary, but I think I just told you everything. So I've been watching this documentary called The Age of Disclosure. Has anybody seen this one? Yeah, it's about aliens. Yeah, where my stoners at, right? It's a good documentary. It's actually nominated for some awards. And in it, some government officials, both current and former, just straight out come on screen and say, yeah, bro, there's aliens, deal with it. And it's a lot of very credible people, and also Marco Rubio for some reason. Don't know why he's in the doc, but when he's not talking, you're like, this is convincing. And And so in this documentary, they straight up say, they're like, yeah, we know aliens, we know them by their first names. There's a lot of different alien species here. Some are here on leisure for a little vacay. Some are escaping climate change from their planet, like their solar system lost its sun and it's very cold now. You know, isn't that ironic? Even in outer space, aliens are running from ice. Parallel universe, that's all I'm saying. And so they're coming here, and apparently the aliens have a fascination with our nuclear facilities, okay? Yeah, so they've been seen hovering over our nuclear sites, and apparently, as I say in the documentary, allegedly, okay, the aliens are able to activate and deactivate our nukes remotely. They don't even need our control center. They're just like, beep, bop, 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 beep, bop, bop. And apparently there was a time when like Russian nukes were pointed at us, and the aliens just turned it on as a joke. They're like, ha ha ha. You're like, so they got a sense of humor too. But yeah, good luck sleeping at night. The aliens basically control our nukes, you know, but I find it kind of heartwarming just because, you know, they could kill us if they want. Clearly their technology is better than ours. They can come here, we can't go there. So their nukes could annihilate us. Our nukes can't even go to the moon, you know? So we're not, they don't consider this a war with them. They're kind of like Diddy. They're like, we decide when they destroy each other, you know? That's like very controlling, you know? And so yes, they can activate and deactivate our nukes. And so if you've ever had the thought, like, wow, we live in such a crazy world, it's actually pretty cool that we haven't gotten a nuclear war yet. It's not our doing, it's the aliens. They've probably saved our ass a bunch of times and we don't even know it. Especially when you got a guy with loose fingers running the show. But yeah, they have a fascination with our nuclear sites, and the aliens also have a fascination with our time travel facilities. So if you don't know, we are actively working on time travel, and the reason you don't know is because we're not good at it, because we haven't left now, okay? But they're working on it, and they're trying, and what they said in the documentary was every time they make an advancement in time travel, the aliens do something to hinder us. So they've been seen attacking our time travel facilities, and they've even been seen like just tampering with things. Anytime we make like an advancement, they do something. They do it remotely too, like beep, 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 you know, and they hold us back. So now, I'm now thinking like that's why the mic turned off, because they're like, they went forward in time, and they're like, he's about to tell them the secrets, right? So like it just hit me. Now, obviously, what you gather from this is, okay, the aliens don't want us to have time travel. And your first ask is like, why would no one want us to have time travel? We're such great people, right? No, I know what you're thinking, right? We're all intellectuals in this room, so you're thinking like, okay, well, obviously, they don't want us to have time travel because that would create a ripple in the space-time continuum, which would mess up whatever they have going on and whatever year they're from, right? Some people are as stoned as me, right? Okay, so that's the obvious thought, right? But in the documentary, they're like, bro, no, it's not even that. Basically, everyone in the universe except us has time travel. So literally, all the species of aliens are out there, like going like, let's go to 2035, woo! Party like it's 1999, woo! Just out there, just going all just reckless time travel, getting time travel DUIs, having the time of their life on the interspace. And all of them, all the aliens, the whole international universal community, they all look at us humans on Earth. They look at our behavior and they're like, yeah, those motherfuckers are not getting time travel. No way are we gonna let them have time. Do not let them leave 2025 or 2026. Like, they have to watch literally every year. That's how monitoring time travel works. And so basically they don't want us to leave now, okay? So we're trapped, yeah. So everybody's like, live in the moment. Like, you have no other choice, actually. Yeah. So basically we're on literal timeout, like literal timeout. But I get it. Like, they see us and they're like, you know, especially if the Americans got time travel, they just come out and try to steal all the time oil. You know what I mean? Right? Because there's got to be some kind of oil for time. And then we see that like, yeah, more of that. I want that oil. Yes, alien planet, we'll be your friend. Give us the oil. Did you guys know that Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves? Yes, Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves. Okay, if the world was Los Angeles, Venezuela would be Diddy's house. Okay, largest proven oil reserves. Okay, Which is crazy, because that's not even why we're interested in them. We just care about the drugs. Isn't that so crazy? We're just like, we're here for the, oh shit, there's oil here? Oh, what? Yummy, oh, yummy. I love that. That's good, man. It's making my teeth glisten. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, we seized the ship off the coast of Venezuela, and it's an oil ship. We'd previously been going after drug ships, but you know, in our defense, oil is our drug, you know. But yeah, it's kind of messed up because apparently there's protocol when you seize a ship. When you seize a ship diplomatically, if there's a way to do that, I guess, you're supposed to notify them, give them a warning, have them remove the cargo. We took that cargo and all, and pretended like that wasn't intentional. We're like, oh, there's oil here? Oh, guess we'll keep it. It was 2 million barrels of oil, $150 million worth of oil. You know what I mean? Yes. I'm sure most Americans don't know that, but if they did, they'd be like, A, that's f***ed up, B, you gonna share it? That's probably how Americans would think. We should not be wanting stolen oil, right, guys? Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. This is why we're not getting time travel. So yeah, they straight took that oil, and you know, they're claiming it's drugs. That's the thing that's so, like, this is so Iraq 2.0, right? Because they're claiming it's drugs. They're claiming it's cocaine, but like there's no evidence. Like cocaine does not come from Venezuela, okay? It comes from Mexico, sorry. But you know, and even if our concern was cocaine, you're totally disregarding the good tax-paying cocaine users of the United States who are literally working overtime, in fact. There's a lot of, you'd be surprised how many people do cocaine in this world. Maybe you haven't gone to the bathroom at the wrong time. There's a lot of, Wall Street is basically powered by cocaine. You remove cocaine, the stock market's gonna crash, okay? So a lot of people use cocaine. Obviously the problem with cocaine is it is often laced with fentanyl. And so the government pretends that that's the case. Well, in that case, go after the fentanyl. But again, fentanyl does not come from Venezuela, okay? It also comes from Mexico. I'm sorry, this is just, okay? But you can't just blame Mexico for fentanyl either, because fentanyl is a multi-step process. The chemicals that make fentanyl come from China, okay? With some support also coming from India, shout out, okay? And then all of it is cooked in Mexico, okay? Which just sounds like a racist American joke. We get the parts from China on the cheap. India comes through with the tech support. And then the real work is done by Mexicans in the kitchen. I'm not making this joke. This is how fentanyl is made. And we're the dummies who are like, yummy, Fenty. Keep sending the Fenty. Do you want a Fenty? So we're the demand side of this equation. And it's up because they're trying to make it seem like that's the threat to America, even though it's not there. They're calling them narco-terrorists. Narco-terror. As a Middle Eastern person, that is offensive. That used to be our slur. You can't just put a word in front of it. Am I just an original terrorist? Am I standard 1.0 terrorist? Come on, am I terrorist 1995? What the is this, man? Narco-terrorist. You can't just put a word in front of terrorists for a different race of people, like are Asians math terrorists, you know what I mean? But of course, white people, domestic terrorists. Am I right? Domestic terrorists. Come on. It's messed up, man. It's messed up. You know, this imperialism in Venezuela, they're just doing it so casually. I think there's literally people inside of the government who don't know that that's not the United States. This is what happens when you call us America, and there's literally like dozens of other countries that are America, because they see it, they're like, oh, it's South America, that's us, right? South America. We just have to cross the Gulf of America to get there. Like, it's all planned. You know what I mean? The United States really is the Diddy of the world, you know? Like, we control everybody. We help some countries, we also molest them. If we really don't like someone, we have them taken out, pretend like it wasn't us. We're addicted to oil. And our biggest enemy, inflation, which right now is 50 cents. Sorry, 50 cents. It's just regime change. But you know what I'm saying. A couple weeks ago, the United States asked Lebanon to give us a bomb back that Israel dropped on it that we sold Israel. This is a real story, by the way. So Israel was bombing Lebanon because it was a Tuesday. And one of the bombs didn't explode. And so like, oh, what can we do? How do we get it to explode? Like, ask the aliens. No, they can't. And then they just, for whatever reason, could not get the bomb to explode. And so it just stayed in Lebanon. And the Lebanese, I mean, fearless people, dude. Just were, you know, after literally everything they've dealt with from Israel, they just see a bomb, they're like, yeah, let's take that. And they just took it. And the United States is just sitting there over here, just and Israel sees the bomb, like, oh, how are we gonna, oh, this is not good. Israel comes to the United States, and they're like, I know this is pretty crazy, but we dropped a bomb in Lebanon, and can you go get it back for us? It's like when a kid throws a football over the neighbor's fence, and the parent has to go ask for the football. It's like, yeah, can you just go get the bomb back for us? And the United States is like, you left a bomb there? They're like, we dropped it, it didn't explode. So, you know, they normally explode, so it didn't explode. So if you just go get the bomb back. And the United States is like, let me get this clear. We sold you a bomb, you dropped it on Lebanon, it didn't explode, you were trying to annihilate them. They have the bomb now, and you're asking us to go ask them to give us the bomb back. And Israel's like, this is correct. And the United States is just like, yes, Daddy, yes, 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 Daddy, whatever you want, Daddy, whatever you want, yes, 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 I'll go get it right now. So the United States goes up to Lebanon like, hey, what's up, man, how's it going? How about that embassy we're about to build, huh? It's gonna be a big one. Ooh, shawarma, I love shawarma, I smell that, it looks so good, it looks so good. You guys can dance, man, you guys, you know, you really get, it's cool, we got a cool thing going on out here, you know? Hey, so, we noticed that you have a bomb that was just there, right? Like, yeah, the one that Israel dropped. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Could you give it to us? I was like, what? Hey, can you just give us the bomb? Like, you want us to give you the bomb that they dropped on us, that you sold to them? Yeah, just give us the bomb. I mean, so, you know, we need to do some research. But you're probably just going to give it back to Israel. Like, no, we would not. No. Just give us the bomb. Just give us the bomb. Just give us the bomb back. And I was like, I don't know, man. I got to think about this. Then all of a sudden you hear, psst, and behind Lebanon, it's Iran. Give it to us. Just give it to us. Just give us the bomb. Trust me, bro. Give us the bomb. Lebanon was like, what? Okay, not right now. And I said, so what? You gonna give us the bomb or what? Lebanon was like, I'm thinking about it. Come on. Give us the bomb. Trust me, bro. Give us the bomb. It'll be good. It'll be good. Lebanon was like, all right. I'm thinking. The United States, you gonna give me the bomb or what? This was like, come on, I want my bomb back. The United States is like, come on, give us the bomb. Lebanon was like, oh. Everyone's like, eee. And the aliens are just watching over. It's like, these motherfuckers not getting time travel anytime soon. I was in Rome. I'm not trying to brag. I was in, you know me. I go places like Rome and New York. I was in Rome, the other one, and I did some tourism there. I went and checked out some of like the Catholic churches. Like they're pretty like intense. You know, like I've been to a lot of churches before, right? Because Christianity is the most popular religion in the world, you know, like for now, inshallah. But like there's churches everywhere. I went to India, there was churches there. J.D. Vance brought them. They're there. They're everywhere. We've all been to churches, right? We've all seen churches, we've seen the inside of churches, and every church you see a crucifix, right? Every church is basically a reenactment of Jesus dying. It's just like very intense, But I get it. We want us to remind us of the death, so we remember like the good things that he did, I get it. It's like we have to see the violence to remember not to be violent. How's that working out for us? But every church has its own varying level of graphic, like a lot of churches in the United States are pretty tame. You just have the cross by itself. Some you have Jesus like on the crucifix. But like in Rome, there's like dripping blood. You're like, is this even necessary? I think I understand what happened. And it just made me realize, like, we've been so desensitized to this just image of Jesus on a cross. Somebody that most people would agree was a nice guy. And we're just seeing him at his worst moment. And this is just something that's just so ingrained in our psyche. And I've been trying to think about it, because these last 2 years with what's been happening in Gaza, I've been wondering, how are people able to see this on their phones and to just live normal lives? Like, I can't, I know a lot of you can't, but I know so many people who just see it on their phone and then just like living their lives. And I'm just like, how do you do that? I don't understand. And then it hit me. It's because all of us, all humans of this world, are so desensitized because we are so used to literally the imagery of the most famous Palestinian being crucified right in front of us. The most famous Palestinian. And I'm not talking about DJ Khaled. I'm not talking about DJ Khaled. I'm talking about Jesus, okay? There will not be another one. Not DJ Khaled, okay? I'm sure a lot of people want to see that, but that's not who we're talking about. Okay, so it just made me think, like, maybe we could just have some nicer imagery of Jesus, like just Jesus like drinking some water or something, or more relatable images, like Jesus' mom throwing a sandal at him, or Jesus eating with his hands right next to Zoran, and it's like, or Jesus standing in front of Home Depot because he was a carpenter, right? Just looking for work. And then ice rolls up. You're like, oh no. Then he flies away. You're like, you go, Jesus. You go. But yeah, I think sometimes people forget Jesus was Palestinian. Like, that's where he's from. He's from Bethlehem. That's Palestine. He's the most famous Palestinian. We celebrate his birthday. It's the biggest holiday of the year. Is the celebration of a Palestinian's birthday. And everybody's like, when's Jesus gonna come back? Is Jesus gonna come back? He probably already has. He's stuck at a checkpoint. We're so used to Jesus on a cross, just let him cross. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. What I'm saying is, this is how you bring up politics at the dinner table during Christmas. It's your way in. You open with that. You end with Free Palestine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yep. The Bondi Beach hero was a Muslim. Yeah. Yep. I know you're not supposed to keep score, but we did. So after a terrifying shooting for 9 minutes next to a police station, when the police weren't able to come in that time frame, who stepped up? Who stepped up? A Syrian, Australian, local fruit shop owner. Named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, okay? And there was people on the internet trying to be like, no, he wasn't a Muslim. Like, really? Ahmed Al-Ahmed? How more Muslim can this guy's name be? Like, Ahmed, Muhammad, Ahmed, like, what do you need from this guy? But he's a fruit shop owner, so, he's organic, and yeah, I don't know where this guy's shop is, but give it a 5-star review, man. He's a good man, and yes, it's important to distinguish he's Muslim because the narrative has always been the terrorists are Muslim. In this case, the hero was Muslim. You know what I mean? That was the first thing I saw. Yeah. Yep. And then they were like, the shooter was Muslim too, and I'm like, listen. Okay. Can't win them all. Now. But yeah, he's a Muslim, and he's a real Muslim. He's a real Muslim because real Muslims protect their Jewish brothers and sisters. This is a fact. Real Muslims protect their Jewish brothers and sisters. Hashtag the Crusades. Okay. Israel's trying to claim that Iran was behind this operation, which makes so much sense. Iran has to take a break from trying to get their bomb. But Israeli officials are saying that if they have any evidence that Iran was somehow involved, they can use this as a pretext to strike Iran, which is ridiculous because Israel never needs a pretext to hit someone. That's just, since when? Since when do they need a reason? And of course, a lot of people are suggesting this could have been an Israeli false flag operation. Now, obviously, that's where my mind goes, okay? But I don't actually verify it until I actually have enough information. I don't have enough information. I just have a hunch, that's all, and that's not enough to go around spreading it. The only things that are suspicious is Netanyahu always, okay? Netanyahu immediately blamed it on the Prime Minister of Australia, saying that it was because of their policy to recognize the state of Palestine. What the is wrong with you, dude? Why would that be the problem? Liberating people who've literally been oppressed and suppressed for so long. Like, the fact that he said that, and just the fact that he's Netanyahu, just makes you very suspicious, right? Okay, then there's other things, like it was close to a police station, it took them long to get there, fine. I mean, like, you compare that to the United States, you know, it's not a very strong argument. Then there's a guy who, like, took a photo with blood all over him, and there's, like, images of him getting makeup done. I don't know if those are real. There's also images of Google Trends saying the suspect's name was searched a couple days before. We've seen this so many times in the last, few months, really, with Charlie Kirk, the National Guard shooting. And I looked it up. I always double check it myself. I looked up on Google Trends. I did not see it. So could have been wiped. I'm just saying either we're paranoid or they're onto us. I don't know which one it is. Okay, but I don't have enough information to say it's a false flag. But Israel also, like Israel claiming it's Iran, we don't have that information. So it's like, if you want to be fair about your allegations here, then let's say that Israel planted the shooter as a false flag and Iran planted the hero. I'll give you that if you want. I don't believe it personally, but I'll give that to you if you want to be fair here. That's the nicest. Because there's some people who are claiming that the shooter was IDF, like straight up IDF. There's no actual evidence to verify this, so I'm not going to make that claim, okay? However, I will say he did have IDF vibes. You know what I mean? He was far too trained with an assault weapon for Australia, which doesn't really have a lot of that going on. He targeted civilians. He came from India, which a lot of IDF soldiers do. Sorry, Indians, you're not dumb. I'm just saying sometimes that happens. And yeah, he was just like the IDF. He was afraid of a fair fight with a Muslim man, so. Yeah. And that's how he got taken down by a fruit shop owner, so. Is what it is. It's so up that there's like this many shootings, like in one weekend, that we forget about the other one because the next one happened the next day, and it's like that one was at Brown University, killer's still at large, you know what I mean? And then the next day was like significant, obviously, because like it was a big deal in Australia, and the hero was a Muslim guy. But I just feel fucked up for like the kids at colleges who go to these schools and just don't feel safe, you know what I mean? Like they don't have like a Muslim shop owner to run up and to be there. So what I'm saying is the theme of the weekend was, what can Brown do for you? All right, I'm sorry. I know. Just stay inside. Just stay inside. But yeah, it is just crazy that Candace Owens made that tweet. I don't know. Listen, I like Candace Owens. Don't send me old videos of hers. I don't give a fuck, okay? I'm in love with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. I don't care what you say. Tucker Carlson, I'm in a romantic pseudo relationship with that guy. Don't send me old videos of him in the bow tie. I do not give a okay? He's the #1 voice of Palestine in the world. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. It wasn't my choosing, but it is what it is. He's reaching a demographic of people that face it none of us would have ever reached, okay? So just let me be in love with this man, okay? When he laughs, I come. I just want to enjoy this moment. I even laugh at his jokes now. I don't know how to... He made a joke on his podcast the other day where he's like, people think I'm getting paid by the Qatari lobby. Like, what would that be? A-quack? Like, A-quack! Oh my God! Why didn't I think of that? But, you know, liberation is a collective movement. Liberation is a collective effort. And so, you know, my take is, let Candace and Tucker cook. Let them cook, okay? I'm gonna let them cook, and I'm drawing the line at Nick Fuentes, okay? Deal? Okay? I'm drawing the line at Nick Fuentes. And trust me, I was introduced to Nick Fuentes, I'm sure this has happened to somebody else. I was introduced to him with the videos that I agreed with. So can you imagine when I saw his other work? Somehow his videos got into my algorithm. He's like, yes, Israel's committing a genocide in Gaza. I was like, speaking the truth, man. Who's this guy? I like this guy. Then I see another video. He's like, the Israel lobby needs to get out of our government. I'm like, yes, brother, yes. And then I see another video. He's like, I don't want to live next to black people. Like, what the just happened? So I hate Nick Fuentes because he's Mexican. And and I'm racist, like he said, everybody's racist. But he is a virgin, you know. He's a virgin. And a lot of people think he's gay. He could be gay. He could come out at some point. You know, great for him. But like, he's definitely a virgin. And I said this the other night, and somebody said, we don't claim him. And I was like, are you gay or are you a virgin? Like, which Virgins are like, get that man laid immediately. We do not want him as part of our community. Here I am in the virgin capital of the world. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's like more like Cambridge, right? It's more like, we're all from Cambridge, dude. I don't know the difference between the neighborhoods here enough to be like, well, Somerville, shout out. Come on. All right. You know the Southeast. Listen. Okay. I know a lot of people come to my show because they support Palestine, and I love that. And I know that sometimes things can get very depressing because of reality, okay? But I would like to give you some light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, bad analogy. I would like to give you some hope, okay? And, I know at times it can feel very disillusioning because I think sometimes we mistakenly adopt this mentality that this situation is a war of two sides. It's not. It's not a war. If it was a war, it would be very asymmetric, right? You know what asymmetric means, right? Okay, just gonna go. Okay. It means not symmetric, right? It means A means not. A is short for anti. It's anti-symmetric, okay? And it's an anti-symmetric warfare. Trust me, I've been nominating for the top 10 anti-symmetric people of I have a crooked face, but yeah, I fall into this trap too. It's easy to adopt this narrative that it's a war of two sides because the media pushes this narrative. And so sometimes I fall into this trap and you'll be up late at night being like, oh my God, I support Palestine, but the other side has the entire backing of the West and the whole military-industrial complex and the biggest bombs being signed in Sharpies by douchebag politicians who are getting paid off by creepy lobbyists who are working alongside of bots online spreading misinformation. They're in my DMs every day. I'm like, who the am I talking to? Real people or bots? I don't know. Are they getting paid $7,000 a post? I'm doing this shit pro bono. What the is going on? I'm going something crazy. I love Tucker Carlson. What's going on? What's going on? I draw the line at Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's going on? You gotta snap out of it and be like, fine, if this is sides, which it's not, if it is sides, then sure, they have all that, but we But we have Macklemore. Yeah. We got Macklemore, baby! The #1 white rapper of all time. Don't look it up. He is the GOAT. Okay? He's the white goat. His name is Ben. Okay? He's a great guy. And then we got Ben from Ben and Jerry's, dude. We got Ben from Ben and Jerry's. That's good ice cream, man. And then we got Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel. She's a sweetheart. She does content for kids. She works directly for Hamas. So I read in the Washington Post. All I'm saying is, there are no sides to history. Okay, this is all an illusion that we see. There are no sides to history. But if there were, you're on the right side. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Boston. I'll see you next time. Take good care. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Thank you so much.
Ooh, look at this package. First of all, man,
The Somali roundup has begun in Minnesota.
Somalia, their country stinks. We're gonna go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage.
Trump called the Somali people garbage? Call me old-fashioned, but what happened to subtle racism, you know? The good old days of dog whistling. Trump said, their country's no good, their country stinks, and I disagree. I think Minneapolis is awesome, okay? And Trump's just sitting there, he's just sitting there at his desk, he'd be like, all these Somalis, they just complain. All they do is complain. They don't do their job, they just complain. They're complaining all day, not doing their job. I don't want to work right now. Don't come, they just complain. They're not doing their job. No more questions. They're not doing their job. They just complain. It's like, what are you doing right now, motherfucker? You're complaining and not doing your job. A little bit of history. The majority of the Somali immigrants came here during the Civil War in the 90s, okay? Why did they come here? Because there was a horrible civil war going on that the CIA claims it didn't start, right? But the CIA definitely took responsibility for making it worse. They were funding warlords to try and overthrow the government and stir up more chaos than there already was, which led there to be more people who needed to leave. And so the United States government said, fine, we'll take you in. We don't want anything in return. Yeah, right. Okay? Because whenever we take in refugees from other countries, we always get something in return. And so what do you have now? You have military bases in Somalia. There are now 500 to 700 American troops in Somalia. Why would you be there if it's a garbage country? No, it's because you want a foothold of imperialism in Africa. Somalia is worth gold to you. And you're telling us there's nothing in Somalia? That's garbage, okay? That's garbage, okay? Also, don't call people from Minneapolis garbage, okay? That is offensive, all right? That is offensive. We all know Minneapolis recycles and composts as well, okay? We sort our waste. So sort your thoughts before you open your f***ing mouth. And now you got people all across the internet saying, what do Somali Americans do for America? What do they do for America? It's like, have you heard of Somali food? Have you heard of Somali food? It's some of the best food you'll ever have, okay? And guess what? It's better than Denny's. What do Somali people do? They're in Congress, bruh. They're in Congress. They work jobs all across America, but mostly in Minneapolis, okay? And then people saying, what do the Somali people do? What do the Somali people do? How about an entire people moving from a country with average temperature 90 to a city with average temperature negative 1,000? That is the highest accomplishment of human adaptation we've ever seen. Literally, these people moved from somewhere hot to one of the coldest places imaginable. Somalis, say what you will, they have thick skin, okay? They have thick skin. So bring it, okay? Because guess what? They're already prepared for ice. What was that? What'd you say? The promised land. Minnesota is the promised land for Somali people. Yeah. Listen, I don't know why. I don't know why you chose this land. Like, it's a very weird choice, you know what I mean? Like, of all the racism towards Somali people, the one thing that should be saying is like, what motherfuckers choose Minnesota? You know what I mean? Like, are they mentally okay?
It was promised.
It was promised to them. Did they say that? 2,000 years ago. 3,000. Listen, I'll tell you what. If Minnesota's promised to anybody, you don't need it. That's a promise. That's a promise where you're just like, nah, I'm good.
The forgotten promise.
A forgotten promise. That's a promise you forget about. That's a forgotten promise. There is a story that came out last week that Kash Patel, the day after Charlie Kirk was killed, he flew to Utah and refused to disembark from the plane because he didn't have his FBI jacket. Apparently he left it in Valhalla. He was being like a princess. He's like, I'm not leaving without my FBI jacket. And they're like, we can't find one. He's like, why can't you find one? There's gotta be an FBI jacket. He's like, because you're a medium and nobody here is a medium. I'm sorry. So apparently there's no medium-sized FBI in Utah. Like, that's what we learned about the situation. He literally made them wait like for hours before he got, because they couldn't find one. And our tax dollars pay for those planes. So like this whole, episode was funded by us. And they're just like, come on, Kash, we need you outside. He's not like, no, Kash me inside, And he's just standing there. It's so weird that you like that one and not all the other shit that I've been doing today. You guys are a weird, fucked up bunch, aren't you? Kash me inside was the one you liked? Jesus Christ. Is this what happens when you make a show at 6 p.m.? Is it like people just like, workday, still inside brain. Scroll. Cash me inside. How about that? Cash me inside. Would not have expected you guys to be a cash me outside crowd. Pete Hegseth's about to be charged for war crimes. Yeah. Who would have thought a Fox News host is not the best for high-level military strategy? Pete Hegseth, who looks and sounds like the lead of a Christian death metal band, has been bombing boats in Venezuela. What have you been doing with your holidays? And he's been using what's called the double tap strategy, which is not when you go like this on IG and accidentally like a photo. It's when you bomb a site and then you bomb it again, okay? And, which I've done this at many comedy clubs, obviously, but apparently it's frowned upon, it's a war crime, and Pete loves it, okay? He loves the double tap. This sicko probably does the triple tap, or as he calls it, a three-peat. Okay, I only know this because I'm on his group chat. That's the only reason I know this. He added me in February. I'm not sure if he still is aware that I'm on, but they claim there's drugs on these boats. Okay? But even if it's something that looks like drugs, you can't be sure until you test it on your gums, right? We all know the gum rule, okay? It's... okay? If there's not drugs on those boats, this is a war crime, okay? And if there are drugs on those boats, still a war crime. Still a war crime. Drug dealers actually have rights too. Shout out to mine. His name is Dave. Hopefully that you hook it up after this, Dave. Killing drug dealers without a fair trial is not only a war crime, but it's also a vibe kill, okay? Okay. And when confronted about this, Hegseth was like, what do you want me to do, man? It's the fog of war. It's the fog of war, man. Things got foggy, It's like, bro, you're just pressing buttons. Like, is it really? You're not the head of military just so you can blame brain fog. You know what I mean? Is that war crimes is just when war gets a little foggy? Is that what it is? How are we equating crimes against humanity with condensation? No, we the people do not want fog of war, okay? We want morning dew process, all right? But yeah, I mean, I'm not I'm not a military general, okay? But like, if you're gonna bomb the boats, which you shouldn't be doing in the first place, bomb the cargo, and then pull them up out of the water for trial, okay? But obviously, Pete has shown us that he's weird about doing pull-ups. This is not the first time Pete has broken rules of engagement. He has a history of breaking the rules of engagement and a history of dishonesty, which is really disappointing for a Fox News alum. It's just sad. It's just sad. You'd think he'd be better with boats because he was an anchor. Pete Hegseth is from Minneapolis. That's your boy. That's where? Forest Lake. How far is that? Can I get there within an hour?
45 minutes.
All right, he's from here, guys. That's your boy. That's your boy. Hegseth is your boy. Okay. Okay, you know what? Somebody take me to Forest Lake right now. Yes, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there and piss on their city sign, and then I'm gonna go back and do it again. It's a double tap. There's a lot of going on in Minneapolis right now, right? Like, you guys are like national headlines. You have the Somali thing with Trump, but what else? There's some other stuff too. ICE. So ICE is here.
Yeah. Everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And want to come on stage right now? Come on, welcome to the stage. Guy who didn't have a job last year. So they're everywhere, huh? Like at the grocery stores and shit. And they're at Target. You saw one at Target? Yes. Shit. Are they schools and malls? Are they at the mall? They're at the Somali mall. Oh, you guys have a Somali mall. If you guys want to troll the president hard, change the Somali mall's name to Mall of America. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Trust me. Trust me, bro. Just do it. And change the Mall of America to the Somali Mall. Oh my God. I could be ICE, right? So you guys are like, well, because you're now like very suspicious, like this guy's not from around here, you know? I think I saw him at Target earlier.
We're boycotting.
You're boycotting Target? Because Target is allowing ICE to...
They dropped their DEI initiative.
Oh, Target dropped their DEI initiative after the election nationally. Here's how this shows you I don't shop at Target. Okay, things are going well. I'm doing Walmart over here. That's actually really sad because I used to love Target. I used to love Target, and you know, I'm wearing, yeah. Well, I was gonna make that joke, but I think it's red polos, so let's be. Or maybe here in this cold country, yeah, you guys have, everybody at Target has their hoodies, okay. It's any red thing. So basically, you just put on a red thing and now you work at Target. Yeah, that's why they have so much in common with ICE. It's the same fashion. Just like, they don't have uniforms, right? They just go on there and they have Kash Patel stitch on the ICE on the back. So Target, they dropped their DEI policy. And so now, have you been to it? I mean, so we're boycotting, but like, have we gone in to check that they're all white or what? Because there's only 2 cashiers? Oh, that's right, because it's all automated now. So they're like, no DEI except robots. They're like, no, we...
Spark joy like it used to.
Target doesn't spark joy like it used to? I agree with you on that. Although I 100%, like, I'm on the same exact vibe, but like, the way you said it just made me realize like how sad our lives are that we used to be in a position where Target sparked joy, because it did. I really did like going in there and being like, dude, $10 for a shirt? Oh my God, I miss those days. Of course, they're upping their prices because getting rid of DEI is a little pricey. If you know what I mean, you gotta pay the whites the extra. Or, sorry, the robots. The robots.
It's the tariffs and their corporation. They're doing what corporations do. They pissed off the right, and now they're pissing off the left. And that's basically what happened.
And can I also acknowledge you work at Target too, because you're wearing red. So yeah, so we're both, you're Target Holiday Edition. I'm just like casual November Target. You need to go to the Home Depot.
Go to Home Depot, buy some fucking ice scrapers, and return that shit.
Ice scrapers? Is this irony right here? Is this?
They protested. They went into Home Depot because Home Depot's allowing ice to come in and
Yeah.
feed people.
Right.
That protesters came in and bought a bunch of 17-cent ice scrapers.
Yeah.
And just made a ruckus in the store, and then returned them.
Well, I'm so sorry. I'm a foreign California boy. What exactly is an ice scraper? Because stop. Be tolerant, you assholes. You're not progressive. You're not progressive. Not all of us were born with an ice scraper in our hands. Okay? Stop it. I don't know. Cash, you're outside. Yeah. Yes. You guys are so not welcoming. Minnesota what? Oh, that's called Minnesota Nice? There's a name for it? Oh, no. It's called, Minnesota Nice is defined as what, like snarkiness? Passive aggressive. Minnesota Nice. Well, good for you. He doesn't know what an ice scraper is. He doesn't know what. What's that?
Ice scrapers are for your cars.
Right. Okay. That's what I assume. But you said they're in there causing a ruckus because when I rent a car here, it comes with usually 2 instruments. Okay. One of them is the brush. Okay. That's not a scraper. I would not define that as a scraper. And then there's the one that looks like a spatula. That's an ice scraper?
The ice scraper like breaks up all the ice on your windshield, and then the brush you can like get away everything.
Right, I get it. The brush is the number 2, the scraper is the number 1, right? And on really tough days, a little hot water. I get it. I'm not that dumb. Okay? But it's like a spatula. It's so flimsy. It's hard plastic, right? It's like really hard plastic, okay? And then you use it to wedge in there and kind of break the ice a little bit. But it's not scraping it. Like, scraping is, there's got to be like more tension.
You scrape the window. You give it to your child when they're born.
We're just going to fundamentally disagree on this. You just said you give it to your child when they're born? What the fuck? You give them an ice scraper? That's what you do in Minnesota? A child is born. So let me guess, you birth them in the snow, and then you hand them an ice scraper and be like, we'll see you back at the house. And the baby's like, where? It's such a cruel world. Like, it's called Minnesota Nice, bitch. Man. Well, now I understand how to do better in a winter crowd in Minnesota. I literally I'm gonna bring my ice scraper and be like, when I was born, my mom handed it and she said, for difficult situations, you gotta scrape the ice. And so at Home Depot, they went and they bought a bunch of ice scrapers and they were making a ruckus. Who thought of this? I would like to credit the person. This is what's that?
It's a passive aggressive.
It's a very Minnesota Nice. I would call it the Minnesota Nice scraper, okay? Thank you. You may cash me outside later. What is your leader doing about the ice situation? They're talking. They're still talking.
So Boyd Mayor just banned ICE from using any like federal parks or buildings.
Okay.
Or parking lots.
Okay, that's good. So banned from federal parking lots.
Yeah.
So start from the parking lot. Start from the parking lot. And okay, so parking lots and federal buildings. So that's like 1% of the city. All right. Okay. And that's it. Because I'm gonna go to Home Depot after this, and I'm gonna buy 10 ice scrapers, and I'm gonna go return them immediately. And they're gonna be like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "I'm late for the protest." And then what I would do is I would get anybody who's undocumented, who's concerned about being taken by ICE, I would ask them, invite them to join with and head on down to a federal building. So they all hang out at the federal building, or like right to where ICE can come up to. They're like in the building, and then there's like the parking lot outside, which is like the safe zone, and then you lure an ICE, well, all of ICE is coming, they're coming to get, and then you come, and then the immigrants are just like, cash me outside. New Hope! Did you have a good time tonight? You're making national news. People are talking about you. Maybe not for the right reasons, but keep that the fuck up, dude. Keep that the fuck up. We got our eyes on you, and I'll keep coming back and always be speaking on your behalf wherever the fuck I go. So I love you guys, New Hope. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
We got it.
Rest now, brother, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
It was never my intention to make light of the murder.
Charlie Kirk, he died like a Viking king.
I forgive him. I am so excited.
Let's get serious for a moment. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, a man was shot in front of a live audience of people, in front of a lot of people. It was outdoors. Thank God comedy is indoors. Sorry, I was just thinking out loud, but a man was shot in front of. He was shot dead, fatally wounded, as they say. It's kind of a like a misleading. It's like he's dead. Like he was fatally wounded. You're like, wait, he was just wounded? Like fatally? Oh. Yeah, my grandfather reached fatal old age recently, actually. But I'm going to be honest with you, okay? As a comedian, as a public performer, I was utterly scared, okay? I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys. I was terrified when I saw that. I saw, wow, I mean, if that can happen to him, you know, could it happen to me? I say some inflammatory things sometimes. I was just talking about Tylenol earlier, you know? Okay? And so I was scared. I shut down. I freaked out. I honestly did not even want to leave the house. And, you know, I felt like I had no one to talk to, and I felt so alone and so in my head. But thankfully, within about 36 hours, the governor of Utah came out and said, we got him. And I finally relaxed, and I was like, thank God, we're back. We're back. We are so back. Oh my God, they got the guy. They got the guy. I want to give a special shout out to the FBI, Utah police, the Trump administration, and of course, special shout out to Kash Patel for bringing justice to this case. There was a killer on the loose for a little while, but they got him. Guys, why are you not excited? They got him. Yes. Have faith in the system. The system works, okay? Yes, so just get back to work, keep paying your taxes. It'll go directly to Israel. It's gonna be totally fine, man. Yeah. 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 Why are you not laughing, my love? All right, that was called satire. The truth is the killer is still on the loose, and you should be f***ing terrified and angry at these motherfuckers who are lying to you, okay? They are lying to you. They are lying through their teeth, okay? And they're doing it so deliberately and so sloppily, and people are back to work. And to be honest, I think it's because so many people hated Charlie Kirk that they're just like, nah, we'll let this one slide. Like, no, it doesn't matter if you hated or loved the guy. Like, something happened here, and we deserve answers. Okay, we deserve answers. Unfortunately, you came to a comedy show where you will undoubtedly get more answers than from your government directly. Because unlike the government, I actually go on TikTok and consume information. I don't just own and censor TikTok. I actually go on TikTok. And seriously, a lot of people don't like hearing this, but this is very likely going to be the assassination of our lifetime. in the sense that, no, I'm sure a couple of you were alive for JFK. Bless you, boomers, okay? Bless you, boomers. Obviously, JFK and MLK, these people meant more to a lot more people than Charlie Kirk did, but you have to understand, these things were not shown to us live on social media. There weren't millions of people watching when it happened, and there weren't this many people back in the 60s. So this is actually huge, and it was done right in front of our eyes, and there's way too many holes in the story for us to just be like, everything's fine. I think it's so messed up that we are so desensitized to shootings that now whenever a shooting happens, every comedian's like, what's my angle on this? It's like the shooter already found it. Structurally a good joke. It's about a 45-degree angle joke. And I made messed up jokes. My friends made way more messed up jokes because it was a school shooting, and my friend called it a mass shooting, and I was like, bro, only one person got shot. He's like, no, but he was Catholic. I was like, that's up, dude. That's up. It was a mass shooting. I had to say it again because I know half y'all didn't even get it. If you believe it's Tyler, fine. We all need someone to blame from time to time. And why not just put on a guy named Tyler? That sounds perfectly reasonable. Tyler Robinson, too. Nice vanilla name. And I already told you, I'm against violence. I don't have to repeat myself, okay? I'm against violence. I don't like that a guy got shot. I'm pro-humanity. I think it's up. But also, I'm gonna make jokes. You kidding me? It's like people like, oh my God, you're making jokes because a man died. Have you seen my genocide material? Bro, stop shooting motherfuckers and I'll stop making jokes. Deal? Maybe the jokes will get you to stop doing it. No, it won't. But yeah, so anyways, people were upset. Who cares? What matters is our government is lying to us, okay? And sometimes you gotta be your own private detective. I really wanted to dig in, go into the case, watch as many TikToks as I possibly could. I wanted to look at the details and really understand why our government is lying to us and how to prove that they are lying to us. So let's look at the facts here. Allegedly, Tyler showed up to the campus at 8:29 a.m. that morning, which, first thing to notice, not quite as an achiever as Luigi. Luigi was on site at 5:30 a.m. in the dead of winter, when the sun rises at 8 a.m. He was up with the birds, man. Tyler rolled out of bed at 7:45, grabbed his grandpa's rifle, and then went to the school and allegedly stuffed it in his pants, because you see camera footage of him walking around campus with no rifle, but yet he didn't leave to go get it. So he was walking around with a rifle on him, and they don't know where so he had to have stuffed it in his pants, which I would believe if he wasn't wearing skinny jeans. Bro is Gen Z, his jeans were like this, and you're telling me there was a shotgun right there? Bro, I'm wearing relatively skinny. I can't even put my hand in my own pants right now. This guy can put his whole grandpa's rifle in there. Bro, I don't believe it. Okay? The shooting happened at 12:23 p.m., okay, which is already really crazy, right? 12:23, 1, 2, 2, 3. It's like counting to 3, but you stutter. Just saying, the signs are there, man. At 12:23, a shot rang out, okay? Instantly, you have footage of allegedly Tyler running off of the roof and jumping off of the roof. Something you should know about this footage, it's been alleged, there's no actual proof of this, but I hope this does come out, That camera footage we've all seen of Tyler jumping off the roof is only a portion of what that camera shows, and that camera actually shows a wide view of the entire rooftop of that building, which could potentially show Tyler at the moment of the shooting. But for some reason, they're not showing that. This is all alleged, but you would presume if we have a camera that caught him jumping off at the right time, why do we not have a camera showing more or less where he was on the roof in the position of the shooting, right? But you see him jumping off with no rifle, so either, again, he was in the pants, just like, which, his knees bend, so there's no f***ing way. There's no f***ing way. And so some people say they see a thingy, he has a thingy, perhaps like a towel or a piece of cloth that the rifle is under, disassembled, which is potentially, can make sense. The only thing is, to disassemble it, he had to use a screwdriver, which he left on the roof. That's what the FBI is saying. They say that the screwdriver, he left it on the roof, it's probably still there. How sloppy they are. The screwdriver is probably still there, and he left on. They say that his DNA is all the screw. He's just like, and he threw it on the roof like a f***ing idiot. He's like, disassemble. So allegedly then he has the disassembled rifle, fine, which I'll buy that, but then he then stashes it in the woods, or as he calls it in his text, his drop site, okay? Stashes it in the woods, fully reassembled. Which is okay, don't know why you did that. Does he like puzzles, you know what I mean? It sounds like his mom was taking Tylenol, okay? Stashes it in the woods, fully reassembled, which is fine. Maybe he did reassemble the rifle, but without the screwdriver? He left it on, did he have two screwdrivers? And he's like, this is my DNA one, this is my non-DNA one. But he left the scope all messed up for some reason, just to f with us a little bit. The crazy thing about this shotgun that he had too, it was allegedly his great-grandfather's or his grandfather's shotgun, which in his text he calls my olds man, or something like that. And get this, there's no serial number on it. Why? Because it's so old, it was before serial numbers. Oh no! How convenient! Apparently, his great-grandfather used this rifle in World War I. And then his grandfather used it again in World War II. And now Tyler used it to start World War III, apparently. The shotgun, by the way, it's called 30-06. It's existed for 119 years. Apparently, you can still use it. And it's called a 30-06, which is also how old I tell people I am. I'm 30-06. They can't figure it out. They're like, is he 37? This 30-06, he stashes it in the woods, left his screwdriver on the roof for some reason, after having it in his pants for half the day. It was a busy day. This started at 8:29 a.m. from this guy. Tyler then flees the scene, and he goes home at some point. I don't know if he goes home, but he goes somewhere, and he half changes his outfit. He only changes half the outfit. Doesn't change the full outfit. Wants to leave us guessing a little bit. Changes half the outfit, and then he's then seen at 6:30 p.m. that night at a Dairy Queen. Which, again, following in Luigi's footsteps. What are you guys doing? Luigi went to McDonald's. Tyler's got to go to Dairy Queen. Like, Gen Z, do you really need fast food that bad? You just did a shooting. So there's a picture of him standing at Dairy Queen. But there is a chance that that picture is AI, in which case, DQ. DQ. Okay? These are all just very surface level, very easy to observe things. Here's where it starts to get weird. There was engravings on the bullets, which again, is Luigi our guy now? Like, are we doing everything like Luigi? If I ever had bullets, if I ever engraved bullets, it would be like things about me, like I'm late to things, so like delay, defer, decimals, that would be mine. There was engravings on the bullets. They were weird, okay? But Tyler also, you know, you look at his story. He's kind of a weird guy, I guess you could say. But like one of them said, if you're reading this, you are gay, LMAO. Tyler is a 4.0 student. Like he literally had a scholarship. I don't know, that just sounds like something more like that like Kash Patel would write. You know what I mean? Here's where I think the most concrete evidence that this was completely staged and fake comes in. If you watch the video, and I know it's gruesome, the video of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck, I know it was hard to see. Like for me, when I saw it, I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. I said that like literally each of the 20 times that I watched it, back to back. It was a lot, but there are a lot of videos now, both on the left, on the right, people from all over the spectrum who are analyzing this video, and they have a very good point. When you watch it in slow-mo, it does not look like the bullet is entering through here. It looks like it is exiting. In fact, when you see it very closely, you see some frames of something behind his neck, and then you see, okay? Now, I've never been shot in the neck, so maybe it could go like this first. I don't think so. It looks like it's leaving his neck, and he kind of hunches forward too, which what you would do if you got shot in the back. And also, like he does something with his hands. They say it's like a neurological thing you do when you're hit directly in the spine. He does that right away. So you would think it hits him there, and then it comes out the neck. You literally see it coming out. When this shooting first happened, a bunch of people came out like, yo, this had to be a professional job because he did it from 200 yards. But then a lot of like hunters came out and be like, nah, I can do that. So I'm like, fair enough. I don't spend a lot of time at the range, okay? I'm kind of scared now, though. Fortunately, most of my shows don't have 200 yards worth, but you know, we're good. But now, all of the gun experts are coming out and saying a 30-06 will shoot through bricks. Oh, really? And they've actually posted videos showing the 30-06 shooting through like 3 bricks. But apparently, the autopsy, which at first they said they didn't do, and then 2 weeks later they said they did, claims that the bullet went into Charlie's neck and his bones were so strong because his mom did not take Tylenol. She just drank straight milk. Straight antibiotic-rich milk. And his bones were so strong, the bullet was stopped. The bullet shot by a 30-06, which usually goes through cement, was stopped by Charlie Kirk's bone, and they said he's the man of steel. They said he's the man of steel, which more like the man of Stop the Steal, if you remember the 2020, but the bullet was literally stopped by the steel. It was stopped by the steel. Now, this is utterly preposterous. If one thing has come from this whole Charlie Kirk thing, I realize I don't believe in miracles anymore. The word miracle means nothing to me. The word coincidence, no, like, you know what? You're allowed one miracle a decade that I believe, okay? And you've already used it. Biden stayed alive for his whole term. I am done with miracles, okay? You're telling me that this miraculous bullet, it came in from the roof over there and hit Charlie. It went in, made it look like it was leaving, went inside of him, and then was and it probably on the way it like hit JFK, came back through, it like time warped into the 60s, came back around, and then punctures Charlie Kirk's neck. It hits his bone, and it's like, I'm done. When every YouTube video using a 30-06 from any range shows it shooting through f***ing cement, but you're telling me this magic bullet, okay? It goes through. And maybe you could argue, you know, Sammy, it's all an illusion. What happened was the bullet goes in and then it ricochets off and then turns around and comes back out. You could argue that to me. You could make that argument because things do happen really fast. But in that case, you're telling me this bullet goes inside and it goes in and it does it's like, no, I'm gonna turn around. It does a complete 180 and then just goes the opposite direction. And that would literally make the bullet a turning point. Okay. USA. Okay. I actually wrote that joke the first day, but I didn't want to tell it till this week. I even told it to my comedian friend. I was like, bro, that's brutal. Like, nobody's... Once you look at that video, you'll see, like, what the fuck is going on, because you see the bullet coming from back here, meaning that allegedly Tyler was on the roof over here. But like people who've looked at some video, they see some weird blurs that are going on up there. They don't know what they are. I'm not going to say exactly what shot Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to drone on about it. But I'm just saying. Look at the slow-mo replay of those videos. You see something very drone-like, okay? And you also see like a mysterious aircraft flying away really quickly that could be like the mothership for that drone. A crazy little fact here too. You know, this was at an event in Utah where the base was mostly conservative because they were there to see Charlie Kirk and support him, and then there was obviously a lot of liberals there who wanted to debate him, and then there was people protesting the event, and they say a lot of them were on the rooftops in the distance and they were holding up pride flags. And you can only imagine that if Charlie Kirk was shot and he looks up at who did it, and the last thing he sees is a rainbow pride flag. It's f***ed up, but it's obviously a joke because in order for that to happen, he'd have to think the shooter came from Tyler, and we know he wasn't. So you can relax. That's not an insensitive joke. It's just a hypothetical scenario. Watch the slow-mo replay, and you'll know the government's lying. Okay? If that's not enough, okay? If this is the case, if Tyler did not shoot Charlie Kirk, okay, then somebody else did, making Tyler a positioned fall guy. And you're like, but why would they go through all this effort to place a fall guy? Well, we already have confirmed there's already been 2 fall guys on the scene at that event. I don't know if you saw, after Charlie Kirk is shot, the very first thing that happens is an old guy gets up and is like, it was me! It was me! Shoot me! Shoot me! It was me! It was me! That's weird. You don't normally get that at shootings. This guy was very ready for that to happen. And so obviously they go for him, they grab him, they take him, they interrogate him, spend like a couple hours doing it, and just to find like, yeah, it's definitely not him. He even told the police, he's like, I did that to let the killer get away. He even told them that. That's how crazy this guy is, okay? Now it would be one weird thing if this was just a regular crazy guy who did the wrong thing at the wrong time. But it turns out this guy is a real person. His name is George Zinn. You can search him. And guess what? He was present at 9/11. He was there in New York City at 9/11. Guess what? He was also at the Boston Marathon bombing. I am not making this up. Google George Zinn. This guy apparently is the career fall guy. I don't know what it pays, $50 an event. I don't know what it is. But he's out there working. He's patsying left and right. It's a crazy list. It's like 9/11, Boston Marathon bombing, Coldplay Kiss Camp. Maybe not that one, but there's so many weird coincidences with this guy. George Zinn, who you would think would be someone to interrogate at this point. Be like, why the f*** were you at 9/11? Why the f*** were you at the Boston Marathon bombing? Why were you at my bar mitzvah last week? You know, all these weird occurrences. But you can't interview him. Why? Because he's now been busted for child porn. Yeah, so with all this going on, they then were like, let's go on his laptop. Oh, here's child porn. And then they had to arrest him, and now nobody can interview him. Yeah, and this, well, at least this is according to Kash Patel, who we should trust. And also according to Kash Patel, this child porn was not trafficked directly from Jeffrey Epstein. He was actually keeping it all to himself. And after they waste their time on him, they then find another guy who happened to be dressed identically as Tyler. And then they wasted a few hours on that guy. And it was just such a coincidence this guy looked just like Tyler, the shooter, on the same day that Tyler, the shooter, did a shooting. Sounds like a riddle, right? So there was already 2 for sure fall guys. So why would Tyler not be the obvious third, you know? Another thing was, if you look at the videos of Charlie in his last moments, there's men behind him doing very weird hand signals. They're going like... Either they're like the world's worst ASL interpreters, or they're potentially signaling like it's time to do it. Some people actually interpreted the exact hand gestures and were like, this means it's time, clear. And then some were saying like, why would they even need to do that? They already had a clear shot. And it's like, what do you know? You know what I mean? right? So all of these things are very weird, okay? And honestly, after seeing all these things, I still, as a good person, as a naive, wanting to trust Uncle Sam, still believe, okay, there's a potential that this is all true. It actually is Tyler. It's just a very, very weird situation. Maybe the bullet ricocheted off the building and then went, I don't know, maybe that's what happened. And so I was like, I'm willing to accept the government story that this was Tyler. And then they released the text messages. And I was like, why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this to yourselves? Those text messages it was the most insane. I was like, am I tweaking right now? Am I on methamphetamines right now? Or did the government really release this text message conversation with the intent for us to believe it? And if you haven't seen it yet, do it on your own time. God, it's not worth mine. I already put a whole YouTube video where I read them out loud to the crowd. They're f***ing insane. First of all, it's all in complete sentences. Gen Z does not talk in complete sentences. In it, Tyler says things like my love and my vehicle, okay? Gen Z says my whip. Everybody knows that. And it was so crazy and fake that it does make you think, okay, this is such a wild conversation that maybe this is how people speak in Utah. And maybe it's so fake that it's real, the government released it. Because why would they release something so glaringly fake unless it was like, yo, bro, this is real? In which case, my conclusion is, whether it's fake or not, which I definitely think it's fake, whether it's fake or not, the government did not read these texts before releasing them. Because any government in their right mind would read these and be like, there's no way people are gonna believe it, dude. We should just keep these to ourselves and paraphrase. But they didn't. They just released it. They're like, yeah, read it and weep. And we're like, you are so dumb, dude. And now I think we're at the point where it doesn't matter if you're left, if you're right, if you love Charlie, you hated him, if you believe the conspiracies, or if you think it was just regular old Tyler. What all of America can agree on at this point and bring us together, we can all agree that Kash Patel is a f***ing idiot, okay? We can all agree. This is unanimous. This is the one thing we should be united over. Kash Patel might be the biggest moron in the world right now. Kash Patel, which sounds like a motel chain, he's the head of the FBI. He's Aziz Ansari's jacked autistic cousin. He's been doing such a botched job of this, not only this, but the Epstein files. And I'm not saying that Kash Patel is the dumbest person in the world. Clearly, he knows how to put on a suit, you know? He knows how to use big words like Valhalla. Okay, so I'm not saying he's the dumbest person in the world, but I can say conclusively he's the dumbest Indian person in the world. This is confirmed. I can say this, I'm from Fremont, California. I know Indian people. And if that's racist, I'll f***ing take it. But I don't think there's one Indian person in here who's gonna be like, yeah, he's ours. If I post this on YouTube, every Indian person's gonna be like, we don't claim him. That's gonna be the main comment, okay? In Kash Patel's defense, I do truly believe that he does not think that these are lies. He's just being given the information and he really believes it. It's really like just trying to watch like a 2-year-old child solve a murder, you know? It's like, that's what I would think if I was at that level of intelligence. Let me tell you, I do believe that Tyler was there. I do believe that he was there. And I do believe that in some shape or form, he either knew he was gonna be the fall guy or he thought he was trained to think that he actually was the one who was gonna take the shot. So I don't know exactly who all did this with him, but let's just say it was Tyler and all of his accomplices, if you will. Tyler and all, if you want. Tyler and all. 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 I think I might be autistic at this point. I actually think this whole case is making me autistic. So the question is, if it wasn't Tyler who masterminded this "if you are gay" operation, then who was it? Well, we can at least acknowledge that Netanyahu tweeted a little bit too quickly when Charlie Kirk passed. It was really weird. He said praying for Charlie Kirk. He tagged Charlie Kirk for some reason. That was really weird. As if he knew Charlie Kirk was going to see it. Which, you know, there are conspiracies that Charlie Kirk's still alive. That's the main one, is that Netanyahu tagged him. He's like, bro, haha, get it? Yeah, you see that? Charlie's like, shut the fuck up, man. It was weird, and then obviously, you know, a lot of people saw that, and they're like, oh, it was Netanyahu, it was Israel. And so Netanyahu made not one, but 2 videos. He's like, now guys, Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. This is anti-Semitic. And we're like, so shocking that you would say that. So that's obviously very suspicious. I mean, but it's not crazy given the fact that Charlie Kirk was certainly a mouthpiece for Israel his entire career. And in the last year, he was slowly changing course. He was becoming more like Tucker Carlson, who, you know, I don't give a what you say, I'm in love with him, okay? I don't give a what you say. Do not show me old videos of things he said in the past. He's doing God's work right now, and I'm in love with him, and I don't want you to ruin it for me. I love Tucker Carlson. When he laughs, I come. I love this man. I love him, and I love Candace Owens. There's nothing you can do to change that, okay? Don't push me away before I start having those feelings for Marjorie Taylor Greene, okay? Don't make me go that far. It's crazy time though, dude. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Kim Jong-un. Oh. I know. So yeah, it's a weird time, but yes, Charlie Kirk was slowly turning on Israel, so it's not insane, okay? Now here's the thing, okay? Obviously I don't think it's fair to allege someone killed someone if they didn't, but in the case of Israel, even if they didn't kill Charlie Kirk, they still deserve the allegation anyway. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, the way he spoke about you killed his reputation with me. You know what I mean? And also, like Israel, you've killed so many people without getting properly punished for it. You deserve an extra allegation. So what? You get off the hook for literally thousands of people, and then you get one blame for someone you didn't do. Oh, take it. Now, for the record, I actually don't believe that Israel as a full entity conspired to kill Charlie Kirk. I don't believe that. I believe they were definitely in on it somehow. But I don't believe that it was like all of Israel was like, let's get this guy. I think it was a group of people who were somehow affiliated in some shape or form. But for legal reasons, I have to be like, okay, Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. I'm a comedian. I'm joking. I don't think that they have time for an assassination. They're too busy with a genocide. Ask the UN. Okay? And so no, I'm not going to accuse them of this or any political assassination. I'm a comedian. I'm just kidding, okay? And I have to say in that one because I'm just kidding. That's JFK. Thought I heard a drone, sorry. So anyways, they're obviously, that's suspicious. Now, I don't think it was Israel. I don't even really think it was Bibi Netanyahu. The first suspect, in my understanding, is Bill Ackman. I don't know if you know who Bill Ackman is, but Zoran talks about him a lot, so you know he's not great. Okay. Bill Ackman is a billionaire in the United States, and I don't know if I need to use a different name for his name, if I'm gonna get in trouble for this. But let's just say William Ackman. I don't know. He's a billionaire, which already shows that he's not a good person. Right? If you're a billionaire in this room and you're offended, keep coming to my shows. You got money. here's the reason why I say Bill Ackman. Because Bill Ackman is he's a very pro-Israel guy. He's like giving money to the IDF. He's very heavily involved in Israel's propaganda campaigns. And he knew Charlie Kirk very well. And a lot of people observed that Charlie Kirk was turning his words on Israel in the last year. So they started trying to reach. Netanyahu offered Charlie Kirk $150 million to be more pro-Israel. Charlie Kirk turned it down and said no. Okay? Yes. Turns out you like the guy, huh? Come on now. Come on, huh? I love that. Libs growing, baby. I love it. But Bill Ackman specifically, he staged an intervention for Charlie Kirk in the Hamptons a few months before Charlie Kirk was shot. A bunch of people were there. There's witnesses. This has been confirmed. He staged an intervention where he tried to convince Charlie Kirk to be more pro-Israel. He's like, just come on, man. Come on. Come join the boys again. Come on. It was a lot of that. Some people said the language was more aggressive. I don't know if that's the case. Some people said he made threats. I don't know if that's the case. But we know that he staged this intervention where he was trying to get Charlie to be more pro-Israel once again. Charlie again said no. Because if you saw Charlie in his last few months, he was like, I don't understand what's going on. He called what's going on in Gaza ethnic cleansing. He said, release the Epstein files. He confirmed that Epstein probably was Mossad. He was pointing out the ills of the Israel lobby in the United States and their influence and how it doesn't belong in our politics. And these are all things that I wholeheartedly agree with. And it's crazy that it took Charlie Kirk that long to turn, but he was turning. So Bill Ackman begs, he stages his intervention, he begs him, and Charlie Kirk says no. A couple months later, Charlie Kirk is shot by Tyler, so it's unrelated, right? Now, if that's not enough, this is the crazy part. Tyler was turned in by his dad, okay? So that's how you know this was a white family, right, obviously. Son, do you have something to confess to me? Dad, I shot someone at a school today. I'm so sorry. Like brown kids, we don't talk to our parents. Like, my parents don't even know the names of my best friends, But Tyler's dad was like, all right, where, when, what? Tell me who it was. And Tyler's dad then turned him in. But there's a reason he turned him in that's also not discussed as much, which is that there was a reward posted for whoever brings in the killer gets a reward, $1.2 million. That's I would have found Tyler for that one. Right? And guess who posted that reward? Bill fucking Ackman, dude. Bill Ackman offered the reward of $1.2 million. Now, some sources are trying to say, oh, but the father's turning it down. He's saying he's donating it to charity. Oh, bull. He can still Venmo it to him. You don't have to be all public about it. But you don't find that a little bit weird? A couple months earlier, this billionaire is begging Charlie Kirk to turn and go with the agenda. Charlie Kirk says no. A couple months later, he's shot. And then the next thing you know, the killer's dad is paid $1.2 million. That's fucking weird. That's why I put that guy as suspect number one, okay? Suspect number two, Trump. Okay? Those bruises don't come too easily, all right? That guy's clearly been handling a 30-06 of his own. Trump is so desperate at this point because, so many people hate him, and it's so clear that he's in the Epstein files. Like, we all know. Even his base knows at this point. Trump is so good at lying that I think that he's convinced himself that he's true, no matter what. But, I think that that's why he has these bruises now. Because his body's just like, nah, dude. He's like, we're going to show the world what's going on the inside. The bruises didn't even come after the Epstein files. It wasn't even that got to him. I think it was the South Park episode. It just hit him right here. And the bruises started coming out. Charlie Kirk stormed in to the White House and told Trump not to escalate with Iran. His words were starting to turn on Trump somewhat. And he was demanding the release of the Epstein files. Charlie Kirk, you have to understand, he was the most influential and powerful conservative commentator, especially with the youth, which is their only hope for the future. And so again, even if it wasn't Trump, he deserves an allegation. Fuck him. He's not getting punished for so many of his other allegations. Why not just throw another one in there? Okay, and you can't remove me. I'm not on ABC. Okay? Now, back to the... So, suspect number 3, this one's gonna upset a lot of people, but I wouldn't be a true private investigator if I didn't look into this option. I don't know if you guys watched any of Erica Kirk's speeches. But they're a little weird. They're a little weird, man. They're a little weird. And I've been watching a lot of TikTok. And there's just some questions that I need answered. Okay, now, I'm perfectly willing to acknowledge Erica Kirk. She's the wife of Charlie Kirk. She may be completely innocent in all of this. I could be entirely wrong and a horrible person for even speculating, in which case I will burn in hell, in the flames of hell. Ah, I'm dead, the rapture, I'm dead. And she's innocent, she's an angel, she'll ascend to heaven. Great. Right? The creator will settle the score, okay? But in the meantime, it's looking a little weird, man. And I need some questions answered, bruh. She's given a few speeches now. Erica Kirk spoke at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, which I watched for research purposes, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am a human being who I disagreed with on a lot of things, was taken from us on this planet. So I wanted to come at this from a human perspective. This man had a family. I wanted to watch this woman speak from a place of empathy and be like, yeah, I disagree with this guy on so many levels, but I want to watch this. I came to cry, dude. I was like, I need to cry today, man. Like, the FBI is lying to me so hard. I need a safe place. I need to look and find solace in the eyes of this poor woman who actually lost another human being, and remember the humanity of this, and remember that even if we disagree over politics, we are humans and we need to connect with each other on the most subtle of human levels. So please, Erica Kirk, let me look into your eyes and let me weep with you while you grieve for your fallen husband. And I came to that. I came to watch for that. I came to cry and I came to awe. But within 30 seconds, I was like, what the am I watching? What the is this? Why is she laughing? She was literally snickering, and Charlie, like, she's like, I know he's somewhere, Like, it was like, is he alive? Tell us! And maybe she grieves fast. If she does, props to her. I'm all about efficiency. You know, I could be that kind of sociopath. Like, if I ever lose someone important, you might see us be like, this guy's f***ing weird. But I'll tell you that in advance. I'll be like, yo, I'm a weird person. I do move on very fast. I lost a lot of math colleagues to Evans Hall, and I was forced to grieve very quickly, like a step function. And so maybe she grieves fast, and maybe that's just, maybe everybody's different, and I could be totally wrong. And again, I'm gonna burn in hell. I'm dead. I'm already dead. But while I'm still alive, why was she snickering during this performance? Why did she seem so chill about everything? Why is she now fully taken over Charlie's company and already doing podcasts? It hasn't even been in 3 weeks, okay? And she's already taken over the company doing podcasts, like smiling, snickering. And it just seems to me, just from a very basic impression, that either Charlie Kirk is still alive or she killed him. Those are the only two logical explanations in my mind. And again, you can be mad at me, but listen, when it comes to homicides, the spouse is always the first suspect. They're always the first suspect. There is literally statistics that show that 60% of the time someone's killed, it's the person they're in a relationship with. 60% in the world. In fact, in marriages in the United States, 34% of the time a wife dies, it's the husband. 34%. 1/3 of the time, if a wife dies, it's the f***ing husband. And guess what? If a husband dies, yeah, sorry, that's... You're either scared for your life or you just solved a murder. He's like, oh shit, I'm so dead tonight, dude. So, according to stats, 34% of the time a wife dies, it's the husband. Okay, I don't know what the stats are for the gay community. I don't know. It could be like 60. I don't know. 34% of the time a wife dies, it is the husband, and when a husband dies, 6% of the time it's the wife. Good job, ladies. Good job for being left. However, the stat says it's 6% of the time it's the wife who killed the husband, but this is not including proxy murders where the wife hired someone. Oh, convenient. That's like most of them, dude. Rarely she does it herself, man. Let's be honest. There's no stat for that, apparently. How convenient. There's no stat for spousal proxy murders. But the global stat is, if somebody dies who's in a relationship, 60% of the time, it has something to do with the person they're in the relationship with. So can we at least not be curious about that stat? In this case, the biggest assassination of our lifetime, whether you like it or not. Okay? Now I know, some be like, oh my God, this is so cold. You're analyzing a shooting by statistics. Well, that's kind of what Charlie did for a living. So I don't know if you noticed. Anytime they talking about shootings, Charlie was like, well, 30% of the time is gang violence, and you got to factor that in, you know? So, you know, I'm just saying, Charlie's up there being like, good man, you know? Now, okay, that's not all my evidence here, okay? I didn't know I had to prepare the case for you guys, but here's my engravings, okay? So you can go down the rabbit hole yourself, but there's a lot of weird things about Erica Kirk. First of all, she knew President Trump before she knew Charlie Kirk. In fact, she won Trump's Miss Arizona pageant. She worked indirectly with Trump before this. Both of her parents are involved in government operations. I believe her father was involved in Raytheon, direct like arms deals with Israel. Her mom worked for the Department of Defense. She's literally born inside of the government, okay? And she won Trump's pageant, okay? And for a while, she was part of like either the founding or the ownership of, or her family owned, or the people she worked with. She worked for an orphanage in Romania that, yes, where a bunch of children went missing. So much so, and some people say some of them ended up in Israel. I don't know, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna spread that rumor without the information. But what has been allegedly confirmed is that she was involved with an orphanage in Romania where children went missing, so many that they had to shut down operations, and they are now banned from Romania. Do you know how f***ed up you gotta be to be banned from Andrew Tate is mayor of Romania. You gotta be, to be banned from Romania, you gotta lose a lot of kids, okay? And this was at a time when she was working with Trump, and it was also at a time when Jeffrey Epstein was still active. So you do whatever you want with that. I'm just saying, that's weird, okay? But she was born into a US government family, worked with Trump, knew Trump. You saw the hug that they had at the memorial. It was too weird. And she now owns Turning Point USA. We'll see. I mean, if I'm wrong, burn me in hell. But she's now taking over. We know that she's taking over Turning Point USA. She's already making content, okay? And here's what I find the craziest. When she met Charlie Kirk, it was not on a dating app. It was not at a bar. It was at a job interview. She went in to interview for a position at Turning Point USA. That's how she met Charlie Kirk. She showed up for an interview. They hit it off. He fell in love immediately. They got married in a matter of months. Wow. Yeah. And now she owns Turning Point USA a couple years later. They got married in 2021. Wow. Barely 4 years later, she owns Turning Point USA. So I'm saying you can make all the connections you want, okay? But just if you look at the whole thing, it starts not with romance or love, but it starts with her applying for a job and ends with her getting a promotion. So you can look at that however you want, okay? I'm just pointing out coincidences, which I don't believe in. I already told you that. The thing is that sometimes you need to take the red pill and go down the rabbit hole because your government's not going to do it for you. Okay, the media is not going to do it for you. ABC is still out there like, was Tyler into trans people? You know what I mean? Like they're still out there like trying to figure out a fake story. Okay, and if personally, like I find all this absolutely absurd. I'm going crazy. Okay, now just to bring it back home, if you want some crazy, wild conspiracy stuff, this is the part that is craziest. This murder apparently was almost entirely predicted in a movie from 1998 called Snake Eyes with Nick Cage. Yeah, no. Look at these TikToks. It's insane. I'll tell you, and you're gonna not believe this either, so you're gonna have to look it up too. But Wikipedia confirmed everything, okay? A movie from 1998 called Snake Eyes with Nick Cage. The plot of the movie is a man named Charles Kirkland. Charles Kirkland is murdered in front of a crowd of people. He's shot in the neck, exactly like Charlie Kirk, at an event that was also a boxing match where the boxer was named Tyler the Executioner. Even crazier, the date that happened in the movie was September 10th. You're like, there's no way. Look it the fuck up. Yes, go, seriously, is a movie called Snake Eyes. On September 10th, guy named Charles Kirkland shot in the neck at an event where the guy's named Tyler the Executioner. Okay? And I'll even add some more irony that you won't find in these TikTok videos, okay? The movie was shot at Trump Tower. I'm not kidding you. It's an inside job. We're all stoned out of our minds. All of our moms were taking Tylenol and weed and Molly and Percocet. It's crazy. I'll even add some more irony that you won't find in these TikTok videos, okay? Something I did on my own. The movie is called Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes is when you roll 2 ones individually, right? What is the probability of that? 1/6 times 1/6, multiply 1/36, 30/6. Which is also my age. I looked it up because I wanted to like Wikipedia to make sure I was not completely, the edible had already kicked in, but I wanted to make sure it was me and not the edible, and I looked it up, and that all of that stuff, the movie, 100%, it's all happens in the movie. You can watch the movie, and so I wanted to know who kills the guy Charles Kirkland. So I looked that up, and this is how you know the movie's from the 90s. The sniper was a Palestinian terrorist. Gotta miss the 90s, man. Back when we actually had representation in movies, you know? It wasn't the good kind, but it was there. The guy who played him wasn't even Palestinian, obviously. He was like a half Latin guy. He was just like, hey, I'll be your Palestinian terrorist. And the Palestinian terrorist sniped Charles Kirkland because Charles Kirkland was working for the Pentagon on a big arms deal selling weapons to Israel. That was the one detail in the movie where I'm like, I think it's, So even in that movie, it's about Israel. Even in that movie, it's about Israel. And the plot, sorry to spoiler, but the plot basically, Nicolas Cage later finds out that his friend who works for the government was on the inside of it. He hired a Palestinian sniper who was willing to be the fall guy and basically jihad himself. But it was really his friend Kevin who worked for the Pentagon who is in on the whole thing and killed Charles Kirkland. So even in that movie, it's an inside job. So wake the up. Wake the up. And really, this whole situation has taught me so much about myself and humanity. You know, because I was not a fan of Charlie Kirk. I saw so many videos of him that I just absolutely was like, why are you saying that, man? That's so messed up. Like, why do you hate Muslims so much, dude? Like, Muslims, like, they believe in Jesus. They believe Jesus was a prophet. Like, they're so friendly with Christians. Like, why do you hate them so much? Like, why do you blame black people for everything, man? Like, can't you just be like, these shootings are bad, we need to, like, figure them out, and being like, well, black people need to take accountability. Like, can't you debate anybody older than 15, man? Like, come on. Like, I really did hate this guy. I respected his chops as a debater. I just wish he used them on somebody his age, you know? And so I definitely did not like this guy, but after seeing this and after seeing how he was turning, I found my humanity, and I found my appreciation even for people I completely disagree with, because nobody deserves that. Nobody, not only does nobody deserve to be murdered, but nobody deserves to be murdered and lied about it. You know what I'm saying? And I know nobody agrees with me because you're in San Francisco. I get it. But I found my own humanity, because this whole time I hated Charlie Kirk and all the things he said. But now I'm like one of the only people trying to solve his murder. You know what I mean? So I'm trying, dude. I'm trying, man. You could say I'm at a turning point. I wrote all this material in 1998.